What's going on YouTube? Just letting everybody know that we have made it through Hurricane, what was the name? Helene? 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 Anyway, whatever. I didn't keep up with whatever it was named. We made it through, and what we're going to talk about a little bit is I'm going to give a couple of tips for people that may have animals that may go through a hurricane or some sort of power outage or something like that. We were out of power for 3 days. And it was a lot of work on me. Not only do I have a family to tend to, but also all of these animals here, all of the animals over at the other facility. It was just a lot of work. So also we're going to show a little bit of damage that we got around town. So we're going to hop on a mule here in a minute and show you some footage from around town, just to give you an idea of how bad this hurricane was in our area, just to show y'all guys that this was no joke. There are several people dead from this hurricane, and many homes are destroyed and wrecked. North Carolina got flooded. Parts of Georgia and South Carolina, Tennessee got flooded as well. Just overall, just total devastation, and our hearts and prayers are out for everybody that needs it. It wasn't easy on us, and we actually got power back in 3 days. There's still houses in our town that don't have power yet, and I know that there's thousands and thousands of people still without power. So we're very fortunate. We only had very minimal damage to our homes. Both of our houses were, very small damage on them, and we're blessed. None of our family got hurt or injured. So anyway, so a couple of tips for preparing for hurricanes. Like, nobody really ever wants to prepare. Well, I'm a pretty good prep guy. I like to keep food and gas generators, things like that, obviously, that you want to have for power outages, but also simple stuff. Propane. I have a natural gas grill. So just a little tip for those that live in the city, that have elevated storage containers will have water. So we actually had water flowing during this time of power outage because we live in a city that has multiple elevated storage tanks. So that's something to consider, but also think about natural gas. So natural gas doesn't run out. So anytime you have natural gas line, hookup, meter, you do not run out of that natural gas. So we actually have natural gas running our stove. We have natural gas running a grill outside, as well as a propane grill and a pellet grill. So we have 3 different outdoor grills. Hot water runs off natural gas, but we can also heat with natural gas. So that's a little bit different because you actually have to plug something into a line that is a heater to produce heat that doesn't have electricity involved in it. That's a little bit different story, but we have all of that. Not only do we have all of that here at our home, but we have that in our rat facility and our animal facilities. So that's ways that I have prepped for many years so that we can have heat, and we have water, we have means of cooking, we have multiple generators, and try to keep as much gas on hand as possible without it going bad. So that's ways that I've prepped. But I get it, not everybody can afford these things, as well as not everybody can think of, they can't have generators where they live at because they might live in an apartment, or they can't have, whatever, outdoor stuff. So not everybody can do this. So a couple of quick tips for somebody that would potentially be going through a power outage is, first of all, remember your animals. If you're about to experience, I know, power outages go out without you knowing, but if you know that a storm's coming in, and don't feed your animals. Most of the animals, especially reptiles that we have and house in our community, don't have to eat. They may need to eat, but they don't have to eat. Even the snakes. I mean, the snakes don't have to eat every week. I like feeding my snakes every week, and since we've gotten power back, I've fed them twice since we got power back. But you know, they don't have to eat. They don't have to eat that week coming into that storm. They don't have to eat while the power is going out. Now, you're like bearded dragons and other animals like that. They don't really have to eat either. I mean, they need to, especially the babies. But you know, if you have bigger lizards, don't feed them. They're not going to die not having food for a week. I mean, babies, different story, but you know, the average person is going to have adult reptiles. You don't have to worry about it. So think about that, you know, prep. And the reason why is if you run out of power for these animals, you don't want them regurgitating that food that they've already consumed, because that's how reptiles work. They eat and then they use heat to digest that food. So if they don't have heat because you don't have power, they can't digest it, and that's going to make it way worse than just not feeding them. So we didn't feed anything the week coming into this hurricane. So I had no problems with regurgitation or anything along those lines. So that's a very small tip to think about. The other thing is, how do you keep an animal warm when you don't have power? Buy some of the, what are those things called? The hand warmers that you hunt with, or buy some of the reptile shipping packets that you shake up that have heat for the reptile boxes. Buy some of them, put them in a drawer somewhere. They're not that expensive, but you'd be surprised at how much warmth that you can obtain from those packets of heat from hand warmers or reptile heat packs. That, you know, maybe you put the animal inside of a glass enclosure and put it in a box and put the heat packs under the box. And then that heat's going to radiate through that box up into that glass, and it's going to be some form of heat. You can also use blankets over enclosures and things like that. Think about like building an igloo, any sort of heat like that. Another little trick is there's all sorts of YouTube videos out there on using clay pots with a very small little candle. Those little, what are they, teacup or tea candles? Is that what they're called? I don't know. I'm not a home person, but little small candles, and they put a clay pot over them, and there's a bunch of different ways to do it, so you can YouTube that. But those actually put up a lot of ambient heat around that clay pot, so you can do that on a flat and a very flammable proof area like concrete or something, and put those animals close to that clay pot so that it will, you know, put off enough heat to keep them alive. So there's a bunch of different ways to keep your animals warm. Now, we live in Georgia, so it wasn't really that big of a deal as far as the heat. I think this room only got to about 79 or 80 degrees was as hot or as cold as this room got, which doesn't even really affect ball pythons or any of the other species. Cassie's geckos, I was way more worried about being at 80 degrees. So, you know, constantly I was monitoring those to make sure that their temperatures were staying. So there's a bunch of different ways to create heat, have heat. Just pre-think some of this stuff. I mean, it just takes a little bit of effort to potentially save your animals. You know, and I'm mainly talking about ball pythons because that's mainly what I deal with. But you know, pretty much works for almost all snakes. Colubrids and things like that, our rainbow boas, things like that, it didn't even really affect them at all because they normally stay around 78 anyway. Please reach out to me. If you ever get into an event like this and you lose power and you need help, reach out to me. I've been fortunate enough that I've been through a lot of situations in life, and I've learned a lot and I've been taught a lot. So reach out to me. Speaking of helping, me and my family have done our best to help our community. We've offered tractor services, we've offered generators, gas, you know, anybody needs help. Actually, my parents are actually down at the church right now helping cook for people. So if you still need help during this event, because I'm pretty sure Cassie's going to try to get this out today, reach out. We will do our best to help with whatever we possibly can. We're going to jump on the mule and we're going to just ride around town a little bit. we needed to go over to the old facility anyway, so I thought it'd be a good idea to just drive our mule over there, and Cassie can show you all firsthand some of the things that is going on in our city and town. And it's just please continue to pray for these people that are not as fortunate as we are. So, and as soon as we get back, I'm gonna show off a couple of snakes, and then we're gonna wrap this video up. But you're not gonna want to miss these snakes, some of the coolest stuff that we've hatched thus far in 2024. Alright, so this is a really cool snake. We actually were lucky enough to make like 1.2 of these. This is a GHI Mojave albino. Could also be cypress and yellow belly, but unfortunately we have no idea if they're cypress or yellow belly. Just can't see it. So it's disappointing that we couldn't see the cypress or yellow belly in it, but it's such cool snakes. So we have these available on the website and Morph Market currently. This beautiful girl is a cinnamon yellow belly hypo, 100% het DG, and she's stunning. I absolutely love this combo. I love this snake. I think cinnamon and black pastel hypo stuff is some of the coolest stuff out there, except for blackhead, of course. But anyway, absolutely stunning animal. And she's up on the website Morph Market as well. All right, this clutch is not quite. Hopefully, I'll get them done today. But this is a black pastel Mojave hypo. I think this one's a male, but we have a couple of males and females available in this. Hopefully they'll get on the website Morph Market today. I absolutely love this combo. Really cool looking. These age quite nice too. We were lucky enough that we hit a visual pod that was 100% het DG, but we were also lucky enough that we got inchy and yellow belly in a female as well. So out of 7 eggs, we hit 1 pod, but it was definitely a banger. So pleasantly happy with this one. All right, we're going to end this video up. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of one of the next clutches that hopefully we can get on our YouTube channel. So if you want to know what this crazy ivory is, that's also double het hypo and DG, you're going to have to stay tuned. And we appreciate everybody watching. Guess what time it is? Time to get out of here. Tell them bye.